So, Stingerback Terror is a 4-cost 7/7 flying dragon with flying and trample. It gets -1/-1 for each card in your hand. So if you have a full grip, it dies, but it's pretty rare that you have a full grip, especially when you're playing cards like Llanowar Elves. Emptying your hand as quickly as possible with adventure creatures, plot creatures, etc. This deck is built around the card Stingerback Terror, but not in the same sense that we're built around, um, Slick Shot Show Off when we're playing Mono Red. The Stingback Terror in this deck is basically just a giant monster that's like pretty cheap to cast. On turn 1, Elf, turn 2, Plot, and then on turn 3, you can like play some more cards, and then you can cast the Stingback Terror. And what we're trying to do is essentially give it haste with a couple different things. Reckless Stormseeker is a 3-cost 2/3 werewolf human. It says at the beginning of your combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and haste until end of turn. This ability can grant haste to the Stingerback Terror to deal tons of damage, but it can also grant haste to something like Eska's Chariot, which also is a huge amount of damage and generates a board that's like pretty difficult to interact with. Giving Lovestruck Beast haste is also pretty powerful. Reckless Stormseeker is just one of the best cards in this style of deck because it gives you the burst damage you need to compete with opponents that stumble, as well as opponents who are kind of doing their own thing and ignoring you. Bone Crusher Giant is a nice little split card that allows us to empty our hand more quickly while having a bit of interaction and a large creature to make Reckless Stormseeker better. We're playing 4 Smuggler's Copter to kind of help alleviate the issues that come with drawing too many copies of Llanowar Elves, too many lands. We're playing 2 Cunning Coyote as a new way to plot to give a little bit of extra juice to the hasted element of the deck for Stingback Terror and Eska's Chariot. We're going to plot this one quite often when we draw it, unless we're casting it on that turn. To kind of round it out, we are an Elvish Mystic Llanowar Elves deck. We got 8 of those. We have 1 Embercleave, which is going to give double strike to the Stingerback Terror or one of our other large monsters. And lastly, we have a single Strangle to go with the 4 Bone Crusher Giants. This is just to increase the density of interaction by 1. We have a couple more pieces in the sideboard. And our sideboard is just complete nonsense, but I really just want to see what can come in and what can work and what kind of stinks, so that when we figure out what we actually want for our sideboard, we can pick and choose the cards that were good and bad and cut them. Our mana base, pretty straightforward, a bunch of dual lands. We have a couple of specialty lands just to help make sure we don't flood out too badly. A Beseiju and a Sokenzan for our channels, a Ramunap Ruins, and a Hash-Up Oasis. These could just be 2 Hash-Up Oasis, but I wanted to keep the red sources high for Stingerback Terror. 1 Lair of the Hydra and 1 Den of the Bugbear. I don't think Lair of the Hydra is better in that it taps for green mana for turn 1 elf, but Den of the Bugbear is a better creature land in general. Sideboard, 1 Torch Tower. So I'm going to go over cards that are kind of the same. We have a Torch Tower, a Strangle, a Braid, Obliterating Bolt. These are our base removal spells that can all come in against various aggressive creature decks. We have a Colossus as a big threat, Questing Beast as a big threat, a Case of the Crimson Pulse, and an Embercleave as these like unique singletons that can come in and really do some serious damage in the right situations and the right matchups. High impact, but something that we want to draw low frequency. We have 1 End the Festivities that kind of goes with the removal, 1 Pick Your Poison that goes with the Tears of Valakut to kill the big 6/5 flyer Vein Ripper, 1 Questing Beast, 1 Reclamation Sage, a Damping Sphere, an Alpine Moon, an Unlicensed Hearse, and that's it. That's the deck. This is a Gruul Stingerback. Let's play a league. We'll keep this hand. Looks pretty good to me. Unfortunately, the Ramunap is our red source for this hand, but that's okay. If our elf survives, great. If it doesn't survive, great, right? So if our elf survives, we'll probably go ahead and Stingerback on 2, so that we can cast it and maybe Copter or Stomp on 3. It depends on what our opponent does. We definitely want to use our mana as much as we can. If they play an elf, we'll probably Stomp, but maybe not. Blooming Marsh. Oh my god, they didn't kill it. Iron Bowl and MTGO? Oh, yeah. My opponent was like, oh, Todd Anderson from Alabama? Oh, great. And then I said, roll Todd, and he's just like, ah, what a piece of shit that Tandy is. What a piece of shit that there Tandy is. Prosperous Innkeeper. All right. We'll probably stomp that one. We don't need to give the dragon haste this turn. Copperline Gorge. I guess we can do that. Let's see. We can go stomp. Stingerback. Coyote. And then we'll give the Stingerback haste. Attack for a ton. This is pretty good, chat. Chat, I think we might be onto something. This was actually just like a sicko, very easy sicko sequence. I don't think that they have an out here other than full combo, but it's very difficult to full combo with nothing. Even a Coco is not good enough necessarily. Be still my heart. Saber2 Jellyfish, thanks for the follow. Skyclave Apparition. Okay, so they're gonna hit my Alpha, or they're gonna hit my Coyote. Oh, they can hit the Stingerback Terror. That's brutal. Alright, well, we can kill the Skyclave Apparition and get a 4/4, so that's okay. We can't give it haste, but what can, you know? Not having enough time to play the Smuggler's Copter. What's up, Optimus? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any of that. I think Reddit's the worst place on Earth, so... So when do we sideboard Roadrunner for the Coyote Mirror? That's a good question, Scooter. Good question. That's okay, Float Mana. If you don't say the Ohio State, then we're cool. But if you're like the Ohio State, it's like Oh, we should have had Rampaging Frost on the sideboard. I guess we can still die here. We're gonna be threatening lethal on the attack, so they need to play something here to not be dead. We have the Raminap runes also that can be sacrificed. If we draw a land, that means we can attack with Elf and activate Raminap. Yeah. Sentinel. Grew up in Columbus, but you don't do that? That's good. Alright, so let's attack for 8 and force a block. They'll probably block with Sentinel, and then they're just going to combo kill us, probably. I guess if we attacked with these two, or this one, we still weren't lethaling. I guess I should have probably just attacked with the Coyote as well. I was really hoping to draw a land. Now they can go Wildgrowth Walker and Malia, blow up the board. They've been unable to do that for a while because I was just punishing their creatures. Maybe stomping on that one creature was wrong, but I didn't feel like I had that much of a different choice. That Skyclave Apparition, man. If they didn't have that, they'd been in serious trouble. But it is what it is. Amalia is a really strong deck. Okay, so Extraction Specials bring back Prosperous Innkeeper. This is not quite doing it, and this is a map token, not a treasure, but this creates a treasure. So now they can cord for 2, but it's still not quite enough. Cord for 2. They can't block with this. They're at 8 now. And now Wildgrowth Walker. Okay, so they still can't cord for a Molly here, so they're going to be in blocking mode. Let's see if we draw land. No. Okay, so Copter has to get crewed. And the question is, do we crew it with Coyote? so that we can still Elvish Mystic Ramming Nap, or do we crew it with something else? I think we maybe, let's see, if we, let's see. This is also going to gain 3 life, so I don't think we're going to win here without, maybe we can't win without a removal spell. Or Embercleave. Alright, we'll crew the Copter and attack. And worst case scenario, we'll just do the Love Struck Beast thing. In case we want to reuse the Ramen Apple, discard Love Struck. Let's see how they block. This is a matchup where I think I will be bringing in Embercleave. What's up, P-Mello? How's it going? Oh, heck yeah, Float Man. Make sure to come say hey when you start going. I'll be there a bunch in the coming weeks. Alright, so these are going to trade. This is going to chump. This is going to bounce, and they're going to take 3. Alright, well, we're not lethaling. They're staying at the same life total, so we'll go Love Struck Beast and hope they don't have Amalia, but we're probably dead to the Amalia. Man, that Skyclave really ruined my life. I had such a cool opener, too. Alright, so they do have the cord, and they're going to go for the cord here. And this is going to blow up everything and leave me with just Smuggler's Copter and then with 1,000,000 life. My deck's not really capable of doing anything about that, so I'm just going to concede, I think. Man. Tough deck. Having a sideboard that sucks probably isn't helping. So in the Festivity, Strangle Torch, Obliterating Bolt, Abrade, Embercleave. What's bad? Probably Stormseeker, but maybe just Lovestruck Beast. Just a little guy. Just a guy. Everything else is like haste or interaction. Haste interaction. Maybe the coyotes have to come out because we're bringing in interaction. Maybe Questing Beast is good because it's hard to block. And I guess we don't need all of this. Maybe we don't bring in the extra Embercleave. No, we got a trample on them. Stingerback's good. Chariot's good. Maybe the Questing Beast is awkward. What's the worst of these removal spells? Probably Strangle, but we already have one. Probably Obliterating Bolt. It does Exile, though. Curse is okay because it stops their stupid graveyard stuff, but they have very little. Alright, let's cut one Stormseeker. We'll just say Stormseeker is a bit worse when our opponent has 1,000,000 blockers. All the haste stuff in general. And so we're going to rely on removal and Embercleave. We'll keep this one. We'll go turn 1 torch, whatever they play. If they don't play anything, that's okay too. Means they're not doing anything. We have the old Stingerback into Questing Beast draw. Fatal Push entered the reveal zone. I hope they graveyard it. So Note Scout not getting a card is nice. Alright, so they put it into the graveyard. I'm just going to kill this to shrink their ability to Quarter Calling. Not drawing a spell here is a little bit of a bummer. But we do have the sequence of Stingerback Questing Beast, and so we're basically just going to get to cast a 3-cost 4/4 5/5 dragon, just the way that our hand is set up, just because we're on the play with the removal. Innkeeper. Prosperous Innkeeper is like secretly the best card in their deck. I guess it's not really secret. I do think I want to just play 4 Rampaging Frosted on the sideboard for this matchup. If this matchup is just like one of the best 3 decks in the format, basically. All right. Well, if they have it, they have it. What are you gonna do? Could have not torched the 2/2, I suppose. They found a Besage on top, so they can. If they have it, they can just cast Wild Growth. All right, let's go Questing Beast. The deck is functioning though. That's the thing that I like. The deck actually just has some juice to it, and now it's just about figuring out the holes. All right. Well, I think we can threaten lethal next turn, and if we draw a 1-cost card, we can play the 1-cost card and Embercleave. But they just have the combo, so we die. Very, very fun and cool card that Amalia Benavides. Good deck. All right, this hand's great. We're gonna keep. I really hope they don't kill our elf, but if they do, we still have a lot of cool sequencing to do. But we have the old Stingerback hasted on 3 again, which is completely awesome. Thanks, Oath McNamara. Last scene was on blue-black control. Maybe they're not on that again. We'll see. I'd rather Thoughtseize here than a Fatal Push for sure. Okay, so is it Phoenix? This is dead. Unfortunate. No land. I think I'm going to Heart's Desire here so we can just get some pressure down. And then I'll probably cast the Heart's Desire on 3. I think plotting this is awkward. It's not bad, it's just awkward. Master Marshmallow, thanks for the 18 months. Blue-red show off. Okay. Alright, we'll just stomp this. Hopefully we draw land. I don't know exactly what's going on over there, but I want to kill this Slick Shot. If it's Phoenix with Slick Shot, that's pretty scary, but I think I like playing a Slick Shot more than I like playing a Ledger Shredder as this deck anyway. Fable, so they're more mid-rangey stuff, that's fine. Let's see, Coyote. I'm just going to cast Love Struck Beast, I guess. He big. Couple of card draw spells go to the graveyard. That's Galvanize. Great, man. This is a card that I forgot about, but it's pretty cool, I guess. You've drawn, what, 2 or more? Works nicely. Oath is a great player, great deck builder. We're just getting worked here. And another Fable, too, probably. Jeez Louise. Alright, we'll just play Bone Crusher. Killing our elf really slowed us down. Yeah, Oath does have a wide range for sure. Shocking? Yikes. Crackling Drake? Oh god. So it's just Crackling Drake Slick Shot deck? Looks kind of cool. Jealous. Just play a medium-sized dragon. I'll swing. They want to trade, that's fine. They're just going to make a Crackling Drake copy, and we're just dead. Although, if they make a Crackling Drake copy and can't kill us, we have a chance to potentially win next turn. Main phase, the copy. Was this Treasure Cruise? Yeah, GG. Got whoop chat. Alright, so I think we want Torch the Tower, Strangle, Pick Your Poison, Tears, Purse. Embercleave stuff can come out. Stormseeker's good. Love Struck's good. Coyote's bad. I want to keep the Stingerbacks. Probably can't board in this much removal. Let's cut. Actually, the Strangles might not be that good because there's sorcery speed. Turn one of the dragons. Want to draw Chariot in the extremely heavy spot removal matchup. Do we want to claw this? Probably. This is a problem with having too many singletons. I forget what we have on the board. I don't think I'll have Clothis at the end of the day, though. I'm personally not a big fan of Clothis as a card. No elf, but we'll keep. So we have things to do, including stomp on the slick shot. Thanks for the follow. I can't read your name. I apologize. Sold you out of BTL? I mean, yeah. It'll do that sometimes. Probably should have been green on this one, but we have a double red card in hand, so. Alright, so if they bird, that's fine. Alright, so let's go cast Lovestruck Beast. Crew Copter, get in there. Here comes Optin to Fire Impulse on this. We draw a land, we get to play Chariot next turn, which is kind of sick. Playing a lot of card draw effects here. They kill the 1/1. We're in trouble. Or no, we're not in trouble. Let's play Stormseeker. That way, if they do kill the... Okay, we'll give it self-haste. But if they kill the 1/1, that's fine. They don't, so we'll hit them for a bunch. Yep, here comes the Wrath, and then we'll play Elf and attack for 5. I'll draw a land, I'll play Bone Crusher as well. First is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and remove 2 things to make Treasure Cruise harder to play. We also can attack with it next turn. We have Stomp as well, they're at 4. Seems awkward here. I mean, it's huge. It dodged the sweeper effect. If we played any other creature that had smaller stat sizing, it'd be worse. That's why we didn't play the elf, though. Crackling Drake. Alright, with just a blue mana open. I'll play another elf. This will make sure that our... We lose to Spell Pierce here, but they have to trade with Lovestruck Beast, which is fine. We don't lose to Spell Pierce, but we are stopped by Spell Pierce. Big difference. Alright, we will bring in the Clothis. And I'm going to trim one more Stingerback. Whenever our elves die, the Stingerbacks are a bit worse, right? Because they cost 4, not 3. So we can't really suspend them when we're so full of these other cards. But maybe that's the problem. Elf into 3-drop is just like not a good way to play the card. Okay, we'll keep this one. We'll put back a land. Todd, I'm your last opponent. Thanks for the game. Elish Normie, yo, GG's. Appreciate you coming to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Dude, you kicked my ass. Amalia is such a good deck, man. The deck beats my ass so bad all the time. I will play the elf. If it dies, we'll copter into plot. If they play a bird, we'll probably strangle copter into hardcast that. Okay, that's fine. I wonder if they cut the bird. No, the deck always has the combo piece, El Snorny. There's no reason to apologize. I understand the deck is built the way that it's built and does what it does for those reasons, right? I'm going to play the sorcery because I want to play it on my turn. I didn't really want to play anything else. I'll just cast the Stingerback Terror. It'll be pretty big. It's your first league of the deck? Nice. Let me know how you do. Amalia, I think, is the third best deck in the format, but I think that there's an argument that Phoenix, Amalia, and Vampires are all top 3. This is another Fable. We can stomp it. Okay. So it's not the greatest way to fight this type of deck, but it is what it is. I will cast. Cast and Crew, and then we'll get rid of the elf. First is an okay drop. They pitched a Braid, which means they just don't have an answer to this yet. Crackling Drake, not quite big enough, but that with a removal spell can do it. And we might just die next turn, so let's just try to draw something. Okay, so pick your poison. Each opponent sacks creature with flying. Let's attack with both. This is a 9-point attack. They're going to kill the copter. Okay. Alright, so let's attack for 6. They're at 9. They can make a blocker next turn to chump block the Bone Crusher Giant. So I guess I'm hoping... I don't know what I'm hoping to draw. I think I cut the Embercleaves, actually, which sucks. Yeah, I did. Never cut Cleave. It's never cut it. It's always a good out. Treasure Cruise, classic. Decks that only barely use the graveyard for something like Treasure Cruise make playing anti-graveyard stuff so frustrating. We're still ahead. As long as if this ever dies, we are dead. You know? Okay, so they're playing Opt. They're trying to kill this, but we can channel Boseiju in response. So this is not going to kill it, so they need one more piece of removal. GG's. It's not GG's yet. Oh, wow. I can't believe you conceded. I don't know that I want to keep this hand, but it doesn't look bad. We are on the draw. We're just like too gummed up at 3, but that's kind of the problem. I'm going to mulligan. Let's just mulligan aggressively. Let's see what we can do. Okay, this hand is kind of shit, but we'll keep it. Let's hope we draw land. Alright, put back a land. Or elf, not a land. Lupo Negativo, welcome. No turn one thing, but we'll see if our elf dies. Mountain could be a little awkward. What's up, Cam? Nudaku this. Ooh, Inti with the dragon does seem pretty good. I am interested in that as well, personally. Alright, what do we do if we don't draw the land? Okay, so we draw the land, so let's go for Copter. I guess we could have elfed, and then if we lose our elf, we just plot. Soren? If it's just Soren Ripper, I'm probably dead. Can maybe challenge it. A plus? A plus is a mitzvah. We draw a Bone Crusher, we can stomp this. This is maybe wrong. But I want to keep the Vein Ripper thing offline, if I can, for as long as I can. Okay, that's good. What I wanted. Alright, they didn't play anything. We can't plot this and play everything, so just cast a dragon, crew. Still big, still 5/5 flying trample for 4. We'll probably discard Coyote, but it depends on what we flip. I think I'll probably keep Coyote over a land. Definitely won't keep Coyote over another dragon. We'll just try to dragon him out. No play. No play from them on 4. What in the hell is going on over there? Okay, Scooter, calm down, calm down. Alright, we're not going to attack with the elf because of the Mutavault, so let's just swing in with Stingerback and a Copter. See if they have removal for either. Seems like they don't. I don't know what's going on over there. It just has to be 3 lands, huh? Even another Terror. They might play Wrath of some kind. If they do, I'll be very sad. But we still have Stingerback Copter attack if they do. And we still have Bone Crusher in Limbo. No, they didn't minus on the first turn, so I don't think it was Ripper. Alright, so we want Tears of Valakuts. We want Pick Your Poison. We want Case. We don't really want Embercleave. All the Embercleave stuff is pretty bad when your opponent is doing heavy removal stuff. So it's like these 3 for these 3 probably. I think Stormseeker's fine because it's just an efficient thing. Clothless is probably okay. I'll get the Reclamation Sage in there. And then maybe we cut 2 Stormseeker. Just keep the things that are a little... Maybe the Strangle's bad. But maybe all the hay stuff is bad. Because it just doesn't matter. And we just need things that stand alone, like Questing Beast. Another Strangle's probably okay. I don't know. This doesn't seem that good. I think I'm going to cut these 2 Strangles and leave in 2 Stormseekers. Strangle's okay, but it's not that good. It doesn't kill their 4 toughness thing, so maybe we want Obliterating Bolt instead. Alright, well, we do have the Pick Your Poison. So I think so far the sideboard cards I'm really liking are Pick Your Poison. I kind of want Rampaging Ferocidon, and then some number of, like, removal spells all seem okay. Just depends. Alright, Elvis probably going to die, but we drew it, so might as well play it. They always have Thoughtseize or Fatal Push, so if they don't play Thoughtseize, they usually have Fatal Push. Oh, they didn't have either. Interesting. So maybe they did have Thoughtseize, they just didn't play it on 1. What are you going to take? I might just cast Bone Crusher on 2, but it's so good against Fable. Maybe they'll take Pick Your Poison, and then I'll lose to the Van Ripper on 3. It took Smuggler's Copter, wild. Now I kind of want to play the Bone Crusher Giant, just to cast it. I think I'm gonna. And the next time we can Questing Beast. I'll go with the Druid in this. Our curve is pretty high, Kim, and usually when your curve is high, the Druid is bad. You want it in basically a deck with all 1-drops, I think. When your heart grows cold. This Fable? If this is Fable, that's fine. We'll just play Questing Beast and Smash. We have even odds, so if it's Extinction Event as the sweeper or Path of Peril as the sweeper, we're fine. And I don't really feel like killing the Fable. I want to protect ourselves. Maybe it's Stingerback now. Nah, they can't block very well here, so let's just get damage in while the damage is good. We'll play Stingerback later. They didn't kill any of our stuff yet, so I'm kind of have a feeling that it's even odds. I think that the Questing Druid is an excellent card, though, Cam. Seeing play in, like, Legacy. That 1/1 body is so good with Brainstorm. Alright, they got discard 2. They're going to pitch a Thoughtseize and a Mutavault. So they didn't have the Vein Ripper stuff, or else they would have kept the Thoughtseize. So I think that their hand is probably just a bunch of clunky fort. Maybe it's Shieldred, actually. Maybe they have Shieldred. Cavern on. Vampire. I guess I'll probably block if they attack with Goblin, because to me, the attack with Goblin signifies that they probably need 5 mana. And no one really plays Bone Crusher Giant anymore. And I don't think any of the sweepers or the 3... They wouldn't play Brotherhood's End. They'd play Path of Peril. Alright, so Blood Tithe Harvester. Wonder if there's a universe where I make them... I guess I can always make them sack the enchantment next turn. Let me guess. Bitter kill spell. Questing, yeah. But now they're basically out of juice, and I have a huge thing. They do get a treasure here, so now they can still play the big boy, but I still have Pick Your Poison for the flyer. Alright, I'm gonna not attack, because I want to potentially keep these at bay, but also trading for this seems bad. If they tap out here and don't have a vampire, or if basically if they empty their hand and don't have the Vein Ripper, I'll probably Pick Your Poison on enchantment to make them sack Reflection. That way it'll pump the terror. I can play this on green. I can also use Hash Up on this. It doesn't trample, but Shieldred is an issue, but Stingerback Terror, pretty good here. Okay, well now we're more than fine to play the Pick Your Poison. Each opponent sacks an enchantment. Should I just put it on the Stingerback? Let's see, if I put it on this, they have to chump. I guess I'll do it on this just so that they go to 3. And they can just chump block with the goblin, so we'll just put them to 1. And then they'll draw up to 3 with the vampire with the shield red. If they attack, we get to eat the goblin, and then they play Vein Ripper, and then we can tears it. Maybe sacking at all was bad. Maybe that was the worst part. But maybe they just don't have anything, right? Maybe they don't have anything at all. They could have push. That's true. They could have had push last turn also, but they didn't. So they're cracking the blood token with a treasure. Interesting. They're pitching Preacher, so that puts them to 5. Did they find removal for the Stingerback? That's the question, because now they can't play Big Vampire. They can't go Sorn minus. Light Step. It feels like they're dead. They're playing very slowly. Okay, so they can plus on the Harvester and attack, and I'll trade with Bone Crusher. This is also why I hate Tears of Valakut, man. I despise this card. But I thought maybe playing one of would be okay. But it's here, you're just seeing, like, if this were any other type of effect that could kill a flyer, like if it were just more pick your poison, we could have maybe used it earlier and dealt lethal damage. Okay, let's see if they throw or plus and gave lifelink. Either way, they're going to gain up to 8, and then I have to figure out a way to kill them. Bone Crusher says spell only. Okay. See how they attack? Just Mutavault. I'll trade. I want to protect our life total at this point. Okay, so that's lethal with Bone Crusher face. Nice. That was a good draw. It allowed us to close the game against the Shield Red, which was scary. That's kind of the problem with playing elf decks in general in the format, is that you kind of need them to survive, but they never do. In the matchups where they do survive, though, you're usually cooking. People don't just like snap keep every Fatal Push hand anymore, though, because Mono Green Devotion is not a deck. Lava Runner. Is that any good? I think our opponent is dead, chat. I guess they can have Wizard's Lightning for the Stormseeker, but then they're still having to beat Chariot on 3, which is extremely difficult. Yep, Sorcerer plus Wizards. We'll take 3. And then we'll play Chariot. Guess there's some argument to going like Copter Plot Coyote, but I think Chariot just puts too much strength on the field for them to punch through. First time casting Chariot this league. Let's see how it does. I will probably put Chariot in front of something and allow for like a 2-for-1 trade. There's some argument to putting 2 cat tokens in front of stuff. I'll just kind of see if they do anything pre-combat. We have to play around like more Wizard's Lightnings and stuff. The Coyote actually hasn't felt that good But Reckless Stormseeker does feel good. So maybe just 4 Stormseekers all you need for the dragon, for the plot dragon. I know the old build used to play Obliterating Bolt, the Crone War builds. Alright, so they're not crewing, they're plotting the Slick Shot show off. Alright, layers the land. Copter. I think I'm gonna plot Coyote. Let's go. Before we play anything else, we're gonna use Copter to try to block the Slick Shot. But we're gonna crew the Chariot here as well, I think. Okay, so we can go crew the Copter. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna die next turn. Give the Copter haste, we'll crew here. Attack for 8. Make a cat, and loot away this elf. Guess we'll keep elf over land. They can kill us so we don't have a 2/2 blocker, and then we might die to Slick Shot plus some stuff, but they only have 3 cards in hand. And we do have 1 blocker still, and they're at 9. So they have to kill us right now, or we're going to murder them next turn, probably. But that's Slick Shot show off, man. You just die sometimes. They can go, like, Wizard's Lightning, light up the stage, skewer the critics, Monstrous Rage or something, we're dead. So, but we didn't draw a Bone Crusher, so the only way to stop anything they're doing is Smuggler's Copter blocking Slick Shot, but that just doesn't work against Monstrous Rage either, or many other burn effects. $11. Okay. So we're probably dead. We're going to block. Monstrous Rage is lethal. A lot of stuff's lethal. Classic Slick Shots. Alright, Strangle in, Torch the Tower, Abrade, Obliterating Bolt. Embercleave, Coyote's out. I think maybe Copter should come out too. I don't think I want Tears just to kill the bird, but maybe. Maybe we need to be a little more desperate. I had a great draw too, that's a bummer. They had a great draw too, though. Let's try 2 Smugglers, maybe. This is a pretty weak hand, but I'm going to keep it because we just have interaction. I'm going to shock and play an elf. I don't know if this is right. Taking damage seems awkward. I can just hold a torch, but then I have to like play Stomping Ground tapped a couple times. Mono? No, Lava Runner. Okay. I will go Heart's Desire. And yes, I don't really want to torch the Lava Runner. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just a 2/2 when it's pumped. Right now it's just a 1/2. I got to be a little careful how I torch the tower stuff though because of Monstrous Rage. I think I'm going to take this. Nah, let's just kill it. I could like use Obliterating Bolt, but then I don't get to play my 5/5 next turn. I just need to play this Love Struck Beast, so I will play 5/5 and attack for 2. I'm not gonna strangle this. It's just a 1/2. Call the Stingback Cleave, but you only have 1 Cleave, so I'm so sad and disappointed. Well, Oko, I don't know if you know this, but almost every single Embercleave deck that ever existed only had 2 Embercleaves, and we have 1 main, 1 board. So I apologize for debating you. Alright, so they do some stuff to the show off to knock it down. We're going to go Strangle you. We're going to go Obliterating Bolt you. And we're just going to lose to the bird again because we have no recourse. That's the whole point of the bird. Everything the sorcery sucks. It's like playing a Smuggler's Copter, but like times 1,000. Basically, all of our removal needs to be instant speed to be able to kill bird on this turn, right? Because now we're just in the weeds. But maybe they don't have it. Maybe it's not as bad as all that. But a single light of the sage changes everything. Monstrous Rage is a ton. We're not getting killed here, though. Yeah, so they're going to hit us for 10 down to 3. And I have a couple of ways to interact here. We're not technically dead on board. We're technically not dead on board. I guess I'm dead to like most things. We'll just not play around anything. Land kills us. I need it to be like Den of the Bugbear or Soulscar Mage. Yep. Dead to the Raimi Nap. Okay, match 5 coming. Maybe I should not have dealt myself shock damage to play Alpha on 1. I don't know. Alright, we're on the draw, but our opener is pretty good. We're going to keep. Opponent is a Gigantha deck. Maybe Gruul Slickshot. Maybe we're dead. I wonder, is there like a bunch of creatures we can play that are just nutty against red? Just like ETB, gain life, draw card type things? What have I been losing to when I play Slickshot? Not a lot. Looks like they kept a one-lander. Let's hope they don't have another land here. I might just play Love Strike as a 5/5. Just to have a blocker for this next turn. And this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. Now they can kill the 1/1, but then that means I can't attack with the Love Strike, but I'm probably not attacking with it for a while anyway. Okay, so Monstrous Rage still trades. So let's see if they play a second land. Then if they play a second land, we have to reconsider a lot of stuff. All right, so they both trade with Monstrous Rage, right? So let's block here. That's fine. And now we'll play Chariot, and we're basically stable at 14. Ooh, and we drew Bone Man. Drawing Bone Man. Nice. Yeah, Frillback seems good. Destroy, it also is good against hitting the graveyard. I like Frillback as a one-of in the Hunters versions. Oh, I almost F6 through that. Whoops. Alright, so we'll plan on going Bone Crusher Stomp plus cast it. So let's attack for 4 and see what they do. We'll target here. That works. So now the question is, now I kind of just want to play another Chariot. And I'll keep the new one because it can block. Get 2 more little duders. I think playing into a damage spell or a pump spell there with Stomp is not great. Seek the Beast makes sense. Top 2 is Monstrous Rage Soulscar. If they attack with Etching, I think I'll just not block. And then they just have these 2 in limbo. You know? Next turn we go Stomp the Soulscar, play it, Crew attack for lethal. Something like that. F6. F6 is a button on Magic Online that essentially passes priority throughout the whole turn so that your opponent or so that you never react. You never have a chance to react. You don't want it because you don't have any plays. There's a button on Arena that does something similar, but it's not quite the same because every time I play I still get priority and I don't want it. Wow, back down. Hey, baby. Alright, we're going to cut most of the hasty things. They're just unnecessary for the matchup. We're going to bring in the Pick Your Poison to see if it's any good against the Monos. Kind of loose, though. Keep this hand, looks pretty solid. Is everyone playing against Mono Red 100 times? No, not even close. Nothing like that. I played against it twice this league. There's a Swifty, it's pretty big, so a Stomp doesn't do anything, so we'll just not block. Monstrous Rage, okay. Big Monkey, relax, brother. Just relax. It's fine. Everything is fine. Format's fine. If you're losing to Mono Red a bunch, there's things you can do. You can pack your deck full of cheap removal, creatures that gain life, things of that nature. Take this. We might be dead here. Sarka's command is a lot. I agree that the Mono Red play experience is not the greatest, but it's fine. Am I dead? This is a lot of damage. Seems like it's a lot. Alright. We kept a hand on the draw that had no way to kill 3 toughness creatures. So that's probably on us. I promise, Big Monkey, it won't, because I think that Mono Red is weak to vampires. So you'll find vampires will be preying on it. They just have to change their removal suite and play Shieldred again. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to take away your frustrations or whatever, but I do not think that the format will become that. After playing a bunch of Mono Red, the format is already adapting to it to make it worse. And when that starts happening, it's only a matter of time until the best players just figure out the third exploitation point where they are, you know, one step ahead of you or whatever. And the aggro decks are just extremely one-dimensional, but they're powerful. They are powerful, but they are extremely one-dimensional. I agree the formats are better when aggro is playable, but I do think Slick Shot is kind of ridiculous. All right, so now we'll go Strangle. Oh no, we'll go Stomp plus Love Struck. All right, so red 1, Stomp here, and Heart's Desire. What's changing in 3 weeks? Oh, just the format stabilizing. Nothing's changing in 3 weeks. They're just venting. It's okay. It's not a big deal. All right. No piling. No piling, please. Thank you. All right, so they put it in suspense. We didn't draw an untapped land, so we'll just cast a 5/5, and we'll take 1 hit from the big boy and hope we don't die. And then we'll try to turn the corner. But that's the thing about the Slick Shot, man. It's just like, you have to have instant speed removal, but that walks into Blossoming Defense. So the Gruul versions are actually quite good at bottlenecking, which is nice. But I think that the deck in general just lacks some amount of interaction, which just makes it really one-dimensional. This is not lethal because the Monstrous Rages are not doubled. They're not enough. This is a lot of damage, but it's not enough damage to kill me. And it still only has 3 toughness because of the ability. So we're at 4, and we get to kill that and attack for a bunch. So it looks scary, but it's not that scary. We're at 4. Alright, so kill this. Play another 5/5. And now if they go another... They can go, like, Slick Shot plus another buff spell or another burn spell. But, like, they're probably going to win anyway, if that's the case, right? 2 burn spells would be annoying. Soulscar Mage is not scary at all because they don't have Wizard's Lightning in their deck. So this is just a chump blocker. That's a good draw. I think this is lethal now. See, we won. Mono red. Beatable. You know? It should be a 3-2. Oh, Witch Stalker. So they're not dead. That's fine. But they are not in good shape. And the Questing Beast was actually quite strong there. Kind of like the one of Questing Beast. All right, 3-2 chat. We did it. We lost once to Amalia and once to Mono Red. We beat Izzet Drakes, which was very similar to Phoenix. We beat Arachnos Vampires, and we beat Gruul. And I think that the moral of the story is that the Mono Red build of Slickshot is way scarier than the Gruul build, because most play, like, it depends on what deck you're playing, obviously, but the card Blossoming Defense is the breaker for which version is better. And if your opponents are heavily interactive, I don't know if a single Blossoming Defense is going to save you. And so I'm kind of just on the plan of brute forcing the red deck with Skewer the Critics, Wizard's Lightning. And so we need to basically be prepared to beat both, but I don't think that we need to worry as much about the Gruul build as the Mono Red build, because the Mono Red build just has more direct damage to finish us off, and it can also have more removal spells to kill our elves to slow us down. Things I liked. Elf into Stingerback Terror felt pretty good when I got to do it the one time. We actually lost the game where we did that, even though we gave it haste on 3 because our opponent was playing a Malia combo and kind of combo killed us. I really like Elf into Reckless Stormseeker. I really like Bone Crusher Giant. I think Bone Crusher Giant should probably start coming back into the format now that Slickshot Show Off is around. With that said, Slickshot plus Monstrous Rage is often something that you can get got by, so you need to be very careful. And it's possible that we need to be focusing more on maybe playing black removal over red removal. One thing I liked about Stingerback is that it was a variable casting cost. It kind of felt like it was similar to Adventure, where I could play it on either side. The problem is that for casting it for 3, it doesn't do anything that turn, and then when you play it on 4, it doesn't do anything that turn. So I think you just really need the Reckless Stormseekers to help out. And so what I think we're going to do is we're going to cut the Coyotes, and we're going to play a bit more removal, and maybe it's just Lightning Strike. Maybe it's some stupid 2-mana removal, or like 2-cost interactive piece like that can kill through Monstrous Rage. Sorcerer Speed stuff like Strangle is probably not good enough. This should maybe be something else. Smuggler's Copter was great. The Escus Chariots were solid. We never drew the Ember Cleaves, but I still like Cleave with Stingerback. And that's the thing, we're kind of playing Magic in a vacuum when we build a deck like this, and in a vacuum, all these cards look really good and powerful, but when your opponent starts killing your elves, when you kind of miss a land drop on turn 3 or whatever, the game kind of just ends sometimes, which sucks. We played 24 lands, and we have a lot of ways to use our mana late with our lands with activated abilities, Smuggler's Copter, and the Adventures, as well as Stingerback Terror, just like expensive or cheap things. And so I do think maybe Elf into Stingerback has some play to it, but maybe what I'm more interested in is Stingerback at the top end of like a mono red Inti deck. And I don't really know exactly how I would build that style of deck, but I do think Inti lends itself well to Stingerback Terror. Maybe it's some like mono red, low to the ground, like Kuldaltha Rebirth types, or Gleeful Demolition style deck that plays Reckless Bushwhacker and like Burning Tree Emissary. You know, Stingerback being like the top end of like a small ball mono red deck seems pretty good. I don't think we could play like Light Up the Stage or Skewer the Critics, because the Stingerback works very poorly with them. And so maybe it's just with the Slick Shot, Heavy Burn, but maybe it's Gruul. Maybe it's like Gruul or something like that. But I do think Stingerback Terror has some legs to it. It seemed very strong when we cast it, both on the front side and the plot. And I think that's a great place to be. Sideboard, let's just go over the cards that I liked and that I'll probably play more of. I'll probably play 2 Unlicensed Hearse. I'll probably play 2 Damping Sphere, no Alpine Moon. I'll probably play 2 Case of the Crimson Pulse, but maybe I'll just cut these entirely and just play something else. Yeah, let's just play something else. That's fine. 1 Questing Beast I'll leave. It was pretty solid when we drew it. I'll probably play 3 Pick Your Poison. I probably won't play Obliterating Bolt. I'll probably play 2 Braid. And then maybe a 2 Torch the Tower. And everything else I think is kind of whatever. You can just figure it out yourself. But this has been Gruul Stingerback, version 1. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our sponsors, Apex Gaming. You can check out Apex Gaming from Caldwell, Ohio. Their website is apexgaming.gg. They run a tournament series that Ross Mayer and myself do commentary for. You can check out their Twitch page at twitch.tv/Apex Gaming. I believe it's Apex Gaming MTG or Apex Gaming. I can't remember off the top of my head. I apologize. Check out moxfield.com for building and sharing decks with your friends. It's a great website for doing those two things. If you want to check out our page for deck lists, you can check out the Moxfield link here. You can also hit !deck or decklist in the chat to see all of our decks. Lastly, Games and Comics Paradise is a gaming store out of Fairfax, Virginia. They specialize in trading card games. Make sure to head out to their brick and mortar store in Fairfax if you're in the area, or you can check out their website, gcparadise.com, and you can pick up some singles, sleeves, etc. And you can do that right now, gcparadise.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tandy. Make sure to check out my Patreon if you're interested in written content like sideboard guides, and that's patreon.com/Tandy. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.